Welcome to a tour of my absolute favorite zoo. And I know that statement is colored by the fact that I've been coming here since I was a child and I've watched it develop and change over many years. This zoo and the eco exhibits have always been a great inspiration for me, and there were always the same elements that kept drawing me to this place. Zoo in Arnhem has some amazing eco exhibits. The innovative desert, the ocean, which opened in 2000, the more recently built mangrove building, and the place I absolutely spent the most time, the bush, home to these anoles and many more animals. I have visited several zoos with amazing greenhouses like Leipzig and Zurich, but wherever I go, I always compare it to the bush in Arnhem. This park in Arnhem holds about 460 species of animals, divided over more than 3,000 individuals. Now, not all species are very rare, many of them you are able to see in different parks, but it is still a very nice selection. The exhibits are overall very well done, even the older ones, and they are currently planning even more improvements, so you will see some shoveling of animals, and they are planning to break down the oldest volières, and they are redoing the birdhouse. For me, this is a bit of a bummer, because in this house I actually saw Boiga dendrophila, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to keep cool species like that. Next to the buildings, a big attraction is the savannah, where you can find a diverse amount of species. I remember as a child I would sit in a long bus and we could actually drive on the savannah, but that is a thing of the past. Still, it is cool to walk around here. Now let's get into why we are here, the eco displays, the big reason why I love this zoo so much. And we are gonna start with the latest build, the Mangrove Biodome. I remember they had a small mangrove building, which I actually always really liked. It had so much character. When this building opened, I missed a bit of the same charm, but over the years, with the fish population growing and the plants thriving, I've gotten to love it. I mean, what is not to love about a building full with a great selection of red mangrove? The manatees are the main attraction in this eco display, and it is such an improvement from their previous home in the bush, which was a whole lot smaller. Now there's also a calf again, which is about a year old. The amount of fish has absolutely exploded. There are many live bearers, some cool cichlids, and also in the shallow mangrove section there are some interesting species like the surgeon fish and these 4 eyes, Anoles. I really like this section because it actually has a tide system which impacts the water level. At the higher level, the fish have space to swim around, and when the tide is low, the crabs will emerge and walk around looking for food. This small added pool with upside down jellyfish is one of my favorite sections of this exhibit. This eco display revolves around the manatees and their natural habitat, which is in this case Belize. So you will find some cool birds. There's also basiliscus walking around, which I haven't seen yet, and of course a very nice selection of butterflies. So overall this whole eco display is just a joy to walk around to. Talking about all these aquatic animals, let's move to the ocean, which you can see evolve every time you go here. And when you enter this building, you start at the shores and you slowly walk down along a very long aquarium filled with some amazing fish. The ocean is based on the Indo-Pacific Ocean, so all the animals you will see here are found in this part of the world. Recently they added this young leopard shark, of which the zoo also has a few adults. A lot of the water and aquariums are actually connected, so the animals have a whole lot of space to move around, and there are some amazing fish that you will find in the different sections of this zoo. Now still, the most impressive is the huge aquarium with live corals, which is one of the biggest reef exhibits in Europe and is always full of life. On many occasions I have seen young fish hiding between the corals, all naturally bred and born in these aquariums. Unfortunately, with my last visit, these Tridacna seem to be gone, but there are still some very nice displays and animals you can find all over this part. There is a whole lot more to see in the ocean, but unfortunately some exhibits are dark, so video quality was not great. Still, it is a place I highly suggest you to visit. So the ocean is actually connected to the bush. My favorite place of this zoo, and actually one of my favorite places to just be. The bush feels, smells and sounds like a tropical rainforest, and of all the greenhouses I have visited, this seems to be the one with most life just all over. It is actually quite difficult to show the size of this building because the roof is a bit lower than some of the other greenhouses, but also all the trees and plants are just so huge and mature, it is impossible to look all the way across. And there are also many paths running in all different directions, which makes the bush feel a whole lot larger than it actually is. You can almost just disappear, especially on a day when there are not too many visitors. There are some places where you can calmly walk around and look for all the animals that are walking around here, or just look at the amazing plantation. The zoo does not hold a big selection of reptiles, filling with many Dutch zoos. They do have a few caimans, and there's also some iguana walking around. But the bush is definitely overrun with anoles. Once you know how to look, you will see these animals everywhere, which is so fun just to see how much you can find during the day. Now, you will find these animals all over the bush, but some of the main areas you can find them is on the runway to the entry of the Savannah restaurant, on the upper deck close to the ocean entry, and in the Cayman section. But as said, basically you can find them everywhere, and often in small colonies ruled by a dominant male. I also always have to check the sea clematis, which are hidden away in a pond behind some vegetation. So that's really cool, and that's what I love about this eco display. I love walking around the bush. You hear so many birds and there's so much life, but you still often have to look for a lot of the species. There are so many animals here that are often not as easy to spot, like the iguanas, and despite the great selection of birds, you really need to make an effort to see all. As an example, there's a pair of hornbills, and I've seen them only once. I go to zoos because I think zoos can be great, and for me as a keeper, lover of animals and plants, it is a great place to get inspiration, and I'm pretty sure the bush had a huge impact on how I approach my hobby. This is definitely an inspirational place. The last eco display we will check out is the desert, which is connected to the bush via a case system. The desert does not directly look to be as teeming with life as the bush, but the presentation, vegetation and species found here are still a very interesting view, and I always like to walk around here. The rarest species you will find here is the Socorro pigeon, a species that's basically extinct in the wild but seems to do well in the desert. Over the last years, this desert definitely has changed. Some of the occupants of exhibits have changed. Some tortoises they had are long gone, which I always feel is a shame. But still they have a very nice selection of interesting animals. And what's also quite interesting is the cohabitation of Crotalus ruber with Heloderma. I could go on and on about this zoo, and there is so much more to share, but for now I hope this video gave you a good impression of this park. I am sure many of you have been here already, so I would love to know your favorite part of the Burger Zoo. And for those who haven't been here before, I hope this gave you a nice idea, and hopefully it makes you guys understand why I love this zoo so much. If you like this stuff, please subscribe. I have also now opened up a possible membership to the channel. So that way, if you like to support and get some previews and exclusive content, maybe check that out too. But for now, I just want to say thank you everyone.